back to the HCW YouTube channel. My name is RateWrestle, and today's another UK Indie Spotlight, and we're doing something slightly different. We've done this with Kamikaze, but we're expanding the preview market. And today we've brought back on Mr. Rotten the Night himself, RC Chaos. How are you doing?
All good, mate. All good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm surviving man flu. Like I'm at the end of it now. Luckily, Monday, I was like radiating, or I felt like I was dying.
I am positive you had the flu the last time you had me on this show.
Yeah, I feel like you stressed me out. That's what it
You know what? I'll take that as a fair comment.
is. But yeah, so we're previewing King of the Division 2. We've just done a giveaway for this show, and the winner's been not announced because I don't want to announce, put the winners on, but I've DM'd them. So they're happy enough that they're going to meet me at the show. That's their highlight for some reason. Not the wrestling. But yeah, so what this is, we'll just go break down the card and just get your opinions in general. So I don't know the order, obviously, of the cards, so I'll just pick out the matches as I can see them on the screen, and I'll just go through them. So I believe this is like in honour of someone as well. I saw on Twitter recently.
Yeah, that's right. So King of the Division, the whole name itself is a gimmick that was used by a wrestler by the name of Cam Wellington. Unfortunately, Cam died at the age of 19 through COVID. And knowing him and Martin Holland, who is one of the people that run Black Country Championship Wrestling with me, was closer to him at PWL, so you know PWL quite well in there. That's where Cam Wellington spent most of his wrestling career.
Okay.
And his gimmick was King of the Division. So we felt that the appropriate way to honour him was to create the King of the Division Championship, which was our first championship at Black Country Championship Wrestling. So that was first won by Regan last January in a gauntlet match, and then he lost that earlier last year, I should say, to Lucas Casimir, who's currently the champion.
Yeah.
Now it is time to defend that in the scramble match.
Yeah, so we'll go on to that. It's obviously nice that you're carrying on like his legacy and stuff with the shows, and it's like because I never knew of this until I saw it on Twitter. So it's nice that you're spreading that around.
Yeah, we presented Cam Wellington's mom and the championship when we unveiled it, and have invited the family to last year's King of the Division show and now King of the Division 2 as well.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, very nice. So yeah, we'll kick off because this has the kind of implications for the scramble. So we'll probably go into this first. So Luke Douglas versus Jack Ball. It's definitely Jack Ball now. That's
all things have been confirmed since last time.
Oh, I can't believe the yeah. Anyway, discuss the viewers that weren't at last show how this match came about, basically.
Yeah, so Luke Douglas was in a King of the Division Championship match with Lucas Casimir, and just as it looked like he was about to pick up the victory and finally win the King of the Division Championship, because it's been an ongoing theme for Luke where he's become just this close, but he can't seem to get the job done, or someone or something gets in the way. And this time round, that was Jack Ball who interfered towards the end of the match, and not only went after Luke Douglas, but went after Lucas Casimir as well. Jack Ball, he says he's got a point to prove. Had Cam Wellington's first ever match. They teamed together in PWL, and now he wants that King of the Division Championship. So the winner of this match will go into the King of the Division Scramble.
Yeah, and like the match that he obviously he disturbed, that was a banger match between Luke and Lucas Casimir as well. So you know he put a dampener on that. I'm going to be honest. But hopefully,
star rating, I believe.
Yeah, ruined everything basically. I'm looking forward to seeing him. Like I kind of eventually, when I knew it was Jack Ball and not Luke Basham, I looked up behind him and he looks pretty decent. So this will be the first time I've ever seen Jack Ball. So I'm looking forward to it.
the history of Luke Douglas, kamikaze training, very, very skilled individual, tag team with, Clint Margera, Elliot Jordan, that faction within that company, but has certainly expanded. We do something completely very different with Luke Douglas, as we spoke about before. But Jack Ball was on the right path pre-lockdown, Fight Club Pro. He was, wrestling in the hangar, training week in, week out with the guys there. And now he's back and he's ready to go. And what I've seen of him on other shows so far has been fantastic. So this should be one hell of a match.
Okay, and I normally do a prediction of like who I think was win, but it's kind of pretty much I'm very much a fanboy of Luke, so I can't look past Luke when it comes to hopefully he picks up the win.
Only time will tell come this Friday.
Yeah, it's sold out now, so anyone that was planning to come, too bad.
Yeah. On the door, you never know. There might be some dropouts.
Fair enough. Yep, just Mark's the thing, gonna get an angry crowd when they can't get in. So up next on the graphics, I'm going to leave obviously Scramble to the end, pretty much. But we've got the tag team of the 0121 versus Charlie Sterling and Lee Hunter. So obviously the 0121 are pretty much like a renowned tag team, the UK wise. I don't know if the Hunter and Sterling have tagged before.
I would imagine they have, because they come into contact with each other quite a lot on the scene. However, the reason for this one is Lee Hunter is doing anything and everything he can to beat the 0121. He's sick of Dan Maloney and DeReese being the top dogs within Black Country Championship Wrestling. He is, of course, the Canal King, and he's bringing in anybody and everybody to try and put a stop to the 0121's continued momentum.
Yeah, and it's not a bad hitter to get Charlie Sterling in to do that job as well. Charlie Sterling's a great wrestler.
Not a bad person to bring in at all. It'd be good to have him back. We had him late last year, and he wrestled LJ Cleary in a fantastic match.
Yeah, and but I just with the 0121, it's I feel it's going to be a bit too much for them. Like the 0121 are just like on a roll continuously for like the last year and a half.
Yeah, they'll win gold wherever they go. At the end of the day, these are two men that have worked for the WWE, and they'll continue to work all over the world. I'm sure of it. They are both fantastic athletes.
Oh, definitely, and the only thing I could see is if Lee Hunter has his way and becomes a bit conniving, like he seems to be. And as I said, it was my first show, last show, so I was very surprised by Lee Hunter being a bit of a bad guy. I'm not used to it.
Buckle down the ring bell when Lee Hunter's around. Never mind the rest of the.
But I would probably go, the 0121 picking up the win. That's probably where I'd go with that.
Okay.
Next up, I'll probably go with so we've got the FCW Black Country Championship, which CJ Rollins picked up at the last show, didn't he? That was because you yourself vacated the title, and then it was a fatal 4-way, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so fatal 4-way with James Ellis, Shane Hooker, and good question. I've completely forgotten.
Rain Man.
I apologise to that fourth individual, because I really can't remember at this point in time. Sorry, it was TJ Sky. It's come back to me.
Okay, that's good. I was going to say, if you segue,
what a fantastic wrestler to forget. I love TJ Sky. He's fantastic. He gets another opportunity at gold this Friday too. But yeah, it was bittersweet for me going out there and giving up the championship, but becoming the commissioner in the same night is something that I'm gonna do my best with. I hope that the King of the Division 2 card is a strong card to put together for me first official card as commissioner. And this match is no different. Two FCW legends, I will use that. Mark Clark, he's a Black Country legend for sure, and CJ Rawlins, although an FCW legend, is very much on the path to becoming a legend in his own right. He just made his debut at Wrestle Carnival in Coventry, picked up the victory there in a fatal 4-way match to also win a championship. and now he's back to defend the FCW Black Country Championship.
Yeah, I was there for the Wrestle Carnival show. He pretty much, I'll be honest, it was another Fatal 4-Way, and he destroyed everyone. It felt like he's very underrated. I'll be honest, like CJ Rollins, like he could be anywhere if he were.
This is his time now. This is his time. He knows what he needs to do, and he just needs to keep on the right path, and he can go all the way if he wants to.
And obviously getting gold wherever he is at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So Mark Clark, obviously he's a very wily competitor to go against CJ Rollins as well. I think I don't really like the other term, but I think it's like out of the whole card, because the card is pretty much a banging show. But this could be like a kind of sleeper match is the term would say that people. It's going to be a very good match.
Yeah. Mark is going to be CJ Rawlings' toughest test today at Black Country Championship Wrestling, because the pressure's on now. The championship's on the line. You know, he hasn't had that pressure before when he's wrestled James Mason, Lee Hunter, for example. No disrespect to obviously both men that I've just mentioned there, but now the pressure is all on CJ Rawlings with the title on the line.
Yeah, especially as it's your first ever defence. That's normally where you get the slip up, isn't it, when you're first defending a title?
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had to pick, I'd probably go with Rollins picking up the win. Because I said he seems very dominant right now, and he's kind of like in form. If you go if you go with that kind of term.
You go with that terminology,
yeah. And then one that I'm looking forward to quite highly is Joseph Connors versus LJ Cleary. I'm a really big fan of Joseph Connors, and as we discussed, I think in your interview, it really threw me seeing a nice guy Joseph Connors. It didn't last, but it's like a nice guy Joseph Connors. So would you explain how this came about?
So yeah, I mean, you know, both men were a tag team. They were against the Clark twins, who again are one of our dominant tag teams within Black Country Championship Wrestling. They fought it out all year. It felt like with the 0-1-2-1, the 0-1-2-1 walking away after a tables match victorious against Clarkwood, but Clarkwood then went on to pick up a victory the following tag team match that they had. Connors come in, Cleary come in. You know, it's a strong tag team on paper. And then, unfortunately, they couldn't get the job done against the twins. And Joseph Connors couldn't handle that in his debut for Black Country Championship Wrestling. So he turned on LJ Cleary. Here we are, 10th of Feb. LJ Cleary wants to settle the score against Joseph Connors.
Yeah, like as I say, it's going to be a very good match. Like as we were discussing, it was like Connors took on a new lease of life, and like, oh, he's actually going to be a nice. He's going to go about this the nice way, be like a legit nice guy. Nope. It took him one match.
After the match.
Took him one match to decide. You know what? It's worked for me before. I'll carry on. But yeah, this is going to be a very good match. Both guys are like very good competitors. As I said, like I'm a big fan of Joseph Connors. I've seen Cleary once live, and a lot of times like watching on-demand service and so forth like that. And he's a very good wrestler, but I just couldn't look past Connors winning this.
I mean, yeah, look, LJ Cleary is, again, like CJ Connors, on the form of his life. This is someone that has wrestled for AEW recently. OTT are obviously very big, not only, within their area of Ireland, but they're making the trip across the little pond, I should say. Yeah. And over they come to Wolverhampton and everywhere else in between. And LJ Cleary is a massive part of that. So when you look at the form guide, as you were referring to earlier, it could be anybody's match.
Yeah, and that's what always makes the best kind of matches, where it's not like a strong favourite. Like in every match in this, I've picked someone I think's going to win, but they're not like strong favourites. They're all very competitive matchups. And I think this one is probably the most competitive out of the both of them, because like it's pretty much like an even kill, let's say. But yeah, if I had to pick someone, I'd probably just go with more experience on Connor's side, and he will do whatever he wants to win. So
especially now,
methodical kind of guy. So I noticed on the graphic this isn't really a match, but it's announced. So obviously the commentary team for this show as well is yourself and Sonny G. You've been making yourself a great partnership over the country, which we discussed on the interview. I'm going to plug that continuously during this fight. It seems
Yeah,
like.
check it out.
Yeah, no, there'll be a link somewhere, hopefully, if I'm smart enough to do it. But yeah, how long have you both been commentary together now?
Less than a year.
Yeah, and you've been everywhere, haven't you? Like, because I completely forgot you were literally Wrestle Carnival's commentary as well. That show.
It was Wrestle Carnival's commentary show, and thank you to Gary Ward, who runs Wrestle Carnival, for giving us that chance. So Sonny G was commentating on his own for quite a while, really, and he'd go to different shows, and he was getting put with someone. He didn't matter. He could have been a wrestler that was injured. It could have been, just a wrestler that was looking to get into commentary, and things like that. For me, it was an injury that put me on the desk last year around March, April sort of time, and it was at AWW in Telford, and I said I still want to come along. Is there anything that I can do? Promo, whatever it might be. And I was told, yeah, well, we got a seat of commentary for you, actually. You'll be working with a guy called Sonny G. And I've not met him before. He'd not met me before. And we just clicked. We had instant chemistry. And we've only grew over that time. AWW, we've been APW, sorry. We've been consistently commentating for in Telford, month in, month out. Then we've been given an opportunity now, obviously, at Wrestle Carnival, Slam Masters in Wales, and it felt the right time to grow that more, and where better than at Black Country Championship Wrestling. But our former commentators, Petey Crockett and Clint McCormack, did a fantastic job for us last year. And that can't be understated. But thank you for everything you did. And now it's on to me and Sonny G to take the lead from here.
No. So yeah, we'll move on to obviously what the show's named after. The King Division title. So there's going to be a script, 6-man, 6-way scramble. Sorry. So there's either going to be Luke Douglas or Jack Ball in it, depending on who becomes victorious earlier in the night. You've got Matt Clark.
That's right, yeah.
For some reason, he threw his name, because I had Mark Clark in my head, and then I looked, no, Mark's down there. Matt Clark. Regan, Luna Blue, TJ Scully, the famous man that we forgot about, and Lucas Cashmere, the champion. So for anyone that hasn't seen, was this, has it always been a 6-way scramble like the previous King of the Division, or was it?
No,
is this a new concept?
It was a gauntlet last year. 10 people entered that last year. Female and male competitors. And the last person standing would become the first ever King of the Division. Luke Douglas ran most of that gauntlet, and Regan actually attacked myself to take my place at 10th, and then went on and became the first ever King of the Division champion. Well, the second ever King of the Division champion, because Cam Wellington will always be the first King of the Division champion. So we came up with the idea of the scramble match this year to make it a challenge. The King of the Division and Cam's respect for Japanese wrestling and hard hitting, contest meant that we wanted to challenge the champion every year when it comes to King of the Division. So there will always be a stipulation for the King of the Division Championship at King of the Division event. And this time around, a scramble match. So there will be a 15-minute time limit for the 6 competitors. And you can pin anybody at any time. So Luna Blue could pin Regan. She would then be the champion if the bell rang at the end of those 15 minutes and no one else had got a pinfall or submission.
Okay. So you could have multiple champions going throughout it.
You could, but the last pinfall or submission is the one that counts.
Yeah, I do like that concept.
That is the one where Lucas Casimir either walks away as champion, or one of the other 5 competitors walks away as the new champion.
Yeah, and that's a very good concept, because it's pretty much because a lot with multi-man matches is very much a hit and very much a luck. Like you could just have two people down, pin them, and that's the end of the match, and it's done.
Yeah.
Where obviously with that concept, there's no running, is there? It's just continuous 15 minutes of absolute chaos. He's going to have his work out, Kashmir. Obviously, five other very good competitors on the like that's, as you said, that is a challenge.
Without a doubt, the experience of Matt Clark and TJ Sky collectively in there. He's a big threat. Aluna Blue, the outside threat at this point in time. She might be the youngest competitor in terms of in-ring experience, but what a hell of a year she had last year, whether it's at Black Country Championship Wrestling or anywhere up and down the country. Aluna Blue is definitely one to watch, and Regan being the second ever King of the Division champion.
Yeah, and this match is kind of built for something like Regan. He's just a powerhouse that probably needs to take everyone down. And then obviously, depending on who wins in their earlier match, Jack Ball or Luke Douglas will be rounding off.
Absolutely, any one of those competitors, no matter if they've wrestled earlier in the night or not, will always stand the chance in the ring.
No, it's going to be a very exciting match, and just an exciting night, I'll be honest. I'm going to struggle to pick a winner in that, especially as a scramble match. The fans win in that one. That's what I'm going to go with.
There we go. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Awful line. But yeah, so that's...
Politicians answer that one.
Right up the fence. So that's the overall card that's been announced. So the fans are in for a treat. Genuinely stacked card. And I'm pretty much looking forward to being there.
Absolutely. And then once that show is out of the way, what is the fallout going to be come April 7th?
Yep, that's a nice plug, that was. I like that.
It's almost like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I hope so.
Only almost.
Yeah. Ask TJ Sky right now. That's what I'm drilling back to that because of Luke Bash. I need to get away from it.
You can make a mistake on these things, so can I.
So that's it for the preview. So I'm going to whack this up tonight. So tonight is is Wednesday night because I'm going to get it out so there's enough time to people to watch it. So as usual, like and subscribe to the channel. Follow the social medias for BCCW. RC Chaos's Twitter handles on the page as we speak. And obviously, because you missed this show, try and get tickets to the next show as soon as possible because it's going to be a banger, I assume. Excellent. And we are going to be doing a review of the show as well, which we'll be getting out as soon as we can. So obviously, thank you for coming on once again, RC.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
No worries.
And see you Friday. Hope you all enjoy.
That's wonderful. And for everyone out there, have a nice time and enjoy the show if you can get there. Goodbye.